Hello, welcome to a Paper Flourish craft video. My name is Julie. Today I'm going to go through a couple of ideas using a new product in the store. These are the Lavinia Stamps acrylic chalk paints, and they are absolutely beautiful. So they are available now. They have 21 gorgeous colours. I've just got a small selection of them here. But I wanted to give you a couple of different ideas for your backgrounds, for your Lavinia cards. And not just Lavinia cards, these chalk paints can be used on a lot of projects. I've just finished doing a video for this one, which will go on Instagram. If it's not there already, it'll be up very, very soon, the next couple of days. And the background here I have used the chalk paints to create that gorgeous distressed look on the pot. So keep a watch out for that one. The two colours I used to do the pot were this beautiful green called Eden and vanilla custard. This is such a useful colour. I can see that's probably going to be my #1 colour I use. So I'm going to take you through a couple of different ideas for your card backgrounds. Now I'm going to work on a piece of Lavinia Multifarious cardstock, and I've cut this. Just checking, I've got Murphy on my lap at the moment. He's been very sooky today, haven't you? 5 3/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches. And the two colours I'm going to use, I'm going to go with Dewberry. How beautiful is that colour? And also I'm going to match it up with Lime Zest. So I'm going to start by doing a card, and I'll show you a similar idea to get that look through the background. Now I find the easiest way to apply these gorgeous paints is with these. These are the Art by Marlene artist sponges, but I like to sponge them on. You can paint them on, but I don't know, I just like the effect the sponging gives. The first thing I'm going to do is Lime Zest, and I've got just one of these Montmartre paper palettes here next to me. Now you don't need too much, okay? Don't squirt a heap of paint out. You'll find you won't need to use too much. As you scrunch the sponge up, you're watching closely there, Murphy. And now I'm just going to paint the entire background. Look at that colour. Lime Zest. That is something else, isn't it? But give it a nice complete coverage over the background, because now when these paints dry, and I will dry it with a heat tool, they dry with this beautiful matte chalky finish. They are amazing. So that's dry. I don't know if you can pick it up, but it's got this really lovely chalky finish on it. The next colour I'm going to use is Dewberry. One of my sponges here, Murphy. He likes that because that makes a crinkly noise. And same thing. Just with my sponge, pick up a bit of this Dewberry, and I'm going to completely cover the surface there with this gorgeous paint. So I have dried that again with the heat tool, but look at that colour. That is a colour which is definitely needed in our lives. Purple and lime green. All right, this is a Tim Holtz sanding disc. You can get a pack of these discs, and they fit on the end of your blending tool. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to play around with this. Let's start from the edge, and you can sand chalk paints. Now it does get a little bit messy. You'll get a bit of dust around, so just be aware of that. And I'm just going to start. So I'm just going to start around the edges, just sanding it back, roughing it up. By putting that lime green underneath, hopefully we can get a bit of that lime green showing through. Okay, so that's now sanded back. You can see the dust. I find a big fluffy brush and brush that away, maybe do it over a bin. Because you will get that dusty chalk paint. I went a bit rough here, I think. I don't care, it kind of looks cool. So it's a very distressed look, but you can see that lime zest coming through underneath the purple. So something really, really different there. All right, I'm going to stamp this. Let's pop it in the stamp press tool. I'm going to use one of the newer Lavinia stamps. It's only recently arrived in store. This is called Botanical Blossoms. And I'm going to stamp with Versafine Clair Nocturne, and then I'm going to emboss with the Superfine Clear embossing powder because I want that image to really stand out. Now, before I do that, I'm just going to run my anti-static pouch over the surface. Now, I'm going to do this a mirror image of this stamp. So I've found out here around about halfway across, and I'm just going to position that stamp there. Middle point. I just thought this one would look really nice in that mirror image. So I've got my embossing powder. Let's get that all ready to go here on the side, because these Versafine Clair inks, they will stay wet just long enough to get the powder on, but you don't have as much time as you do with your embossing ink pads. But I want that black image underneath. All right, stamp press tool. Let's do that again. This is the most beautiful stamp. It's just stunning. Okay, let's do that again. Hopefully that should do it. It does. All right, embossing powder on here on the side. And then I'll go ahead and heat that and show you the image. Isn't that lovely? And just adding that clear embossing powder gives you that really beautiful image. Now, going to repeat the process. Let's turn this around, pop that down. And I have actually cleaned up the stamp so that I can position it. Try and do it right at that mid halfway point, line it up, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same process. All right, that's all done. I think I like that stamp as a mirror image. It's going to be quite cool. Now, this is going to end up being the background, because what I'm going to put on top, I'm not going to put a lot on top, but I've found this is a Mintay chipboard set, and it's called Quotes, and there's some really lovely quotes on here. I think I'm going to use Family Love Hope. So I'm just going to carefully take this out of the chipboard. All right, now I've gone ahead and popped that background onto a card. This measures 6 by 5, and I've done like a top fold on that. So that's all ready. The only other thing I'm going to do is colour this chipboard to go in the middle of the card. Now, there's another great thing you can do with chalk paints. Colour your chipboard, and you can either do solid cover, you can just sponge it on, you could do one colour and then just and then add another little bit of sponging on top. So I'm going back in with Lime Zest. How easy was that? That beautiful lime colour. All I'm going to do now is stick that on. I might do that with some Stamperia craft glue, and that one's done. I'll just pop that aside to dry while I show you another idea for a background. But you could use so many different colours of those chalk paints to make those distressed backgrounds. So cool. So what I did then with that one was I painted with sponges. Another really nice way to paint with chalk paints is with your finger. And I'm going to do that now. I'm going to make a bit of a background, play around with a bit more sanding. Let's see what happens. I have no idea how big this, I just found this piece of Multifarious cardstock. And if I can find my ruler, I'll let you know how big it is. Right, ruler's gone walkabout. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's a square, and it's a 5-inch square. That's going to work just beautifully. Colours. Oh, which one's this time? This is rather beautiful, soft cyan. I'm going to bring in some vanilla custard, and I need one more colour to go with that, something a little bit darker. Maybe we'll do something in the blue tones. So this time, again, I've just got my paper palette here on the side, squirting a little bit of that blue, not too much. Now, again, you could sponge this on. I'm just going to have a play with my finger, and I'm just going to rub this paint into the background. And we might do a little bit up here. There's a beautiful blue. Wow. That's stunning, isn't it? So nice. And then maybe a bit over here. really love working with chalk paints. Okay, the next colour, so this is now Soft Cyan. And again, just going my finger. If you don't like getting messy and getting paint all over your fingers, then you can always use a sponge. That's a pretty blue, isn't it? Probably going, gee, you're making a mess, Julie. Yes, I am. But it's fun. Oh, that's looking a bit swirly and whirly, isn't it? I'm going to go back in just a little bit of, just add a touch more of each of the colour. Just play around until pretty much you're happy. Overlap a bit into the other one. Add a little bit along here. You'll kind of find it dries as you go. I will set it eventually with the heat tool, but it kind of dries as you're doing it. What do you think of that? What a cool background. Now I've got a stencil on the side here. This is called Ambience. And where are we? Now this time I am going to use a sponge and I'm going in with vanilla custard. A little bit on the side there. And where's my sponges? Glad you can't see the rest of my craft table at the moment. It is a mess. And I'm just going to do just some little patches. Now, we want to make sure you don't have too much of this paint on your sponge. Just a little bit. And I'm just going to add some patches of stenciling. See what's happening with that paint? This is the Faerie spell stamp and Pinecone Versafine Clair. So I'm going to ink that up. You could use the background just as it is. You don't need to do any more than that, but I thought let's add some script into the background. Oh, this looks kind of nice, doesn't it? Maybe a little bit more. That will do. Now I'm going to dry that with my heat tool just to make sure it's completely dry. All right, that's dry. Now I actually don't mind that as it is, but if you, for example, stamp that and went, oh, the words are a little bit dark now, they're standing out a little bit too much. Remember, these are chalk paints, you can sand them. Sanding disc, and I'm just going to sand away and I'm going to lighten these back. You can leave some a little bit darker, but maybe, and it gives that sort of distressed look to the words. And now they're sitting more into the background. I could sand the rest of the card if I wanted to. If I thought, oh, that vanilla custard is standing out just a little bit much up there, sand it back. I'm hoping you can see the difference. So now those words are more in the background. They're not standing out as they were before. Where did that fluffy brush go? There it is. Let's again brush that away. Get all that dust off the card. Okay, just something else you can do with these amazing paints. All right, so you can see now that I've sanded that, the words are now gone into the background. It's had a little bit of a cloudy effect too, which I like. But now you've got the background is done, and it's just a matter of going, what am I going to do on the background? That is a really good question. could stamp anything on this. Kind of looks pretty just like that too, doesn't it? All right, this is the Botanical Blossoms Bud set. I'm thinking I might just do this. The head of the butterfly, it's going to be a butterfly. I'm going to stamp that with Versafine Clair Nocturne just into this top corner. And then the other part of the stamp set, which is the wings, I've seen Tracy do this on Lavinia, but I just thought the way the words are on this card, I think this is going to work okay. So I'm going to add, hope you can see what I'm doing there. I'm going to add one wing on this side. Such pretty stamps. Another one on this side. And there's that beautiful, beautiful butterfly. I probably could have put the wings up a little bit closer to the head, but there we go. I've stamped Art from the Heart, again with the Versafine Clair Nocturne. I thought that would be nice just on the bottom there. And one more thing, always need a bit of glitter. So I've chosen the Fairy Tales glitter, Quickie Glue Pen, and I'm just going to add some dots of glitter through the butterfly's wings. I'm just going to pick this glitter up, sprinkle, 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 shake it off. How pretty does that look, that glitter on there? I usually just let that Quickie Glue Pen dry and then brush any excess away with a fluffy brush. All right, I'm going to pop that onto a card and I will show you the finished product. And there's the completed card. So, what's that one with the real distressed, sanded background? And here's this beautiful butterfly. These paints would also make the most amazing journal page backgrounds. So not only cards, there's so much you can do with them. I've only just touched the surface of them. I'll keep playing with them, seeing what other new ideas I can come up with as well. But these are now available at paperflourish, paperflourish.com.au. Please just enjoy playing with these beautiful colours. They come in the most stunning range of colours. They're just amazing. Love them. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. Keep a watch out because there's more videos on the way. Thank you. Bye.